Hey everybody, it's Ozone. Welcome back to my little Sky Island base here in the Vault Hunter server. I don't know if you can see it already, but I've cleaned things up quite a bit. Took out my lava farm, my dripstone farm, and my kelp farm, and yeah, just looks a lot cleaner. It was all in here pretty tight, and this area for the companions has certainly grown quite a bit, so I decided, yeah, that these things needed to go away. Especially since I set up a very basic smelting station here. I don't really need to use lava and a furnace anymore, so all of that can just go away. Anyway, this episode I've been pretty hesitant to start. I've been pretty low energy, honestly. With daylight savings time, it just really sapped all of my energy. Kinda strange. It's never happened to me before, but yeah, I just didn't feel like doing anything for about a week after the time change. Gotta love it, don't you? But I have been making some progress and doing some vaults. These levels are going super duper slow though. And that is, I guess, another reason why I've struggled to get started with this. But I do have some plans today that I want to do, and it involves this area right here, and especially the vault altar. You see, in the quality of lives, we've got a big one here, costing a lot of research points, but altar automation. It's going to cost a lot to craft, but I'm pretty sure I can afford it, and it's going to make things a lot easier. Now, I do have to say the 5 levels of Lucky Altar have come in really handy. I mean, it's been good to me, and there's so many times where I just plop the crystal down, and it's done. Super handy. It's gotten to the point, though, where I dislike manually feeding the altar anymore at all, honestly. And so the solution for that is the Vault Altar automation. And so that is going to be my primary goal in this episode. But before we get into that, we've got a few crates here to open up. One that is particularly of note here is this boss crate. I did one. I did a rune boss one and got the crate for it. But it wasn't without its challenges. As a matter of fact, I think the rune bosses are just crazy broken, honestly. It killed me like 5 times, and I'm so very grateful that I made a backup right before triggering the boss fight. It's not about actually trying to cheat and complete the boss fight and cheese it like that. No, for me it was about actually trying to finish it so I knew what it was like, and let me tell you, it was not good, nor easy. And this one is probably the easiest boss that I could possibly have faced. The spider boss is not very bad from what I understand. I understand the golem boss is just outright broken. But all of them, I think, are broken. But anyway, this spider boss required only 3 runes, and I made sure to put runes in there that did not give them any ability haste. It only had additional health and additional attack damage, and I only did the minimum 3 that was required. Pretty much all of the other pedestals that I've run into since require 4 or 5 runes. And you can look at the runes and pick ones that are going to make things not as difficult, as well as pick things that are going to be good rewards. But given that I was super apprehensive about this, I'd heard a lot of things about them being overpowered and broken, I made sure to make a backup first, and I was really glad I did. So let's check out these clips. Oh my god, these things are so terrible. 133% of the health, and it has killed me like 7 times. But I am determined to get this thing. It's crazy. This poison is terrible. I keep healing a ton. And no matter what I do, it doesn't help. I've gotten really close. I just got to keep on top of my distance and my health. Oh no, this is bad. This is bad. I'm not going to make this one. I've used too many potion charges. This poison is incredible and terrible. And the health on this is just insane. Like I said, this is not about winning or losing, really. This is about practicing and trying to get better at this and managing and just learning what these guys do and how to win. Oh no, oh no, oh no, again! Well, clearly I need the practice, or these things are just too hard. And I think it's the latter. I've heard that some of them are just bugged, but I thought the spider was okay. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm going to give it a shot again, and I'm going to keep giving it a shot until I do it. The trick is to stay away. Very hard to stay away, though. Whoa, spider jockey. That's kind of crazy. I gotta stay on top of my mana, stay on top of my healing. Oh, so hard. Even with my increased ability power and damage from Arcane, still just I'm struggling so hard. I want to say it's impossible. I've come close multiple times, but it is so hard. Almost there. Come on. Okay. Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my word. That was terrible. Look at that. 1.3 million hit points. Dang. No wonder I died like 8 times before I finished it. Wow. Only 50,000 XP. That's terrible. Well, there you go. From here on out, if it's a rune boss objective, I am out. Just count me out. That's terrible. Now, I will add that I know that if you have the Carapace on, you can prevent all of the spider's negative impacts. But that's only helpful if you know you're going to have a rune boss fight and you can plan ahead of time. In my case, it was a random crystal, and I just wouldn't have packed this under normal circumstances. Well, there's that crate, and hopefully we get something good in it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know that we're going to get something good in it, because one of those runes was for a trinket. And there it is. Trinket! Now the others, we've got a bonfire, we've got a scav, we've got a bingo, and we've got an elixir. Got one of everything. I don't know what's in any of these. Let's open them up and find out. Oh, it's an artifact! And the bingo didn't give me an artifact. Well, I'm happy to have one at least. I think that's a new one. And yep, there we go. Nice. Now, I have been trying to run more bingos in between episodes because bingos have the best chance for an artifact. I haven't been doing a very good job of remembering to do that, but that's my goal anyway. And I've been running an awful lot of them with my companion here with the 2 bonus gildeds on it. And as you can see, they've leveled up quite a bit. But in spite of all of the extra gildeds that I've been finding inside the vaults, not one trinket has come from it. I've got this one I just got right now, and I got this one that I bought in a vendor. And I also bought a bit of trinket scrap too, because that's basically the same. So I guess let's get these identified. Give me my treasure goggles. Well, we got the crystal ball. And we got the crystal ball, increase the total mana by 100%. That's a good one. I'll definitely keep that, and I'm glad to have another one marked off the list. But I'm sad I still don't have my treasure goggles. I did use up the Elvish Air completely, 0 uses left, as well as my Idona's Charm for the extra ability power. I've been using other trinkets here and there, and because I've forgotten to put another trinket in, I'm currently only rocking the Lucky Goose. And I was certainly hoping the extra item rarity would help me get more trinkets, but it really hasn't. Item rarity of, man, pushing 100%. It's not great, honestly. But to be honest, I don't really know if I can get that much more, I guess. Maybe on a new magnet? I don't know. But I've gotten really used to the Elvish Air trinket and being able to drop down without taking damage, so I think it's probably a good idea to make another one. Ow, though, I forgot that when you craft a trinket, you get significantly fewer uses. Only 12. Oh well. And I really wish we could re-roll some of these god charms, because I definitely want more Tenos charms that have item quantity or item rarity on it, but this is the only one I have. I suppose it's worth using this, though, just to be able to get more stuff. And while Windar is actually the one that I have the most in, Tenos isn't doing bad at all. So I'll take an extra 7.8% item quantity. But aside from the base cleanup and that other stuff, that's really most of what I've been doing here. I haven't been able to do a whole lot because we've been really busy. We took an entire weekend and went to a gaming convention, and while that was really good, it definitely had an impact on my ability to do some recording here. Now, in my pursuit of levels, I've really been focusing on bounties, and some of these are yielding quite a lot of experience. Both of these I've been working on yield quite a lot. It really is kind of crazy. I'm really glad to have the bounties because they're giving me just as much experience for a completed bounty as I'm typically getting for completing a vault. Sometimes more, yeah, but sometimes less too. And finally, later in this episode, I plan to get into making some catalysts and making a packed crystal, particularly for the accustomed catalyst that we've got here. Each one of the accustomed gives you another 20% of vault experience, and, well, that's where we're at. I think I need to do things to maximize that vault experience. But that's also why I've been hesitant to start and hesitant to do that, because sometimes you just have a bad vault. You know what I mean? And I would really feel bad to be using a lot of resources to make these catalysts and go in there and have it just be a bad vault and not really accomplish what I wanted. Also, adding a catalyst adds a challenge stack. And I've been doing just fine in the vaults with these companions and their relics, which also adds challenge stacks. But that's only 2. If I put another 10 catalysts on there, well, that's 10 more challenge stacks, and I'm also afraid that I'm just going to get completely overwhelmed and not be able to do anything. You know, go overboard and do too much. But I guess that's for later on. First things first, let's at least get the knowledge unlocked. Wow, 56, plus I can make a lot more. How many more? Let's see. Oh my gosh, a stack and a quarter. And I know that we need these for prestige levels past level 100. And so I'm starting to wonder, should I bother spending them? Should I continue to unlock things, even though I really don't think I'm going to need it? Or should I not worry about it and worry about getting the knowledge stars when I need them later on? I mean, we do have 20 levels, and that's a lot of vaults to be run in between now and then. Well, I know I need 32, so let's go. Altar automation. Well, as the name implies, this will automatically populate your vault altar with resources, and it does require either refined storage or applied energistics, which of course I have. Now the real question, yeah, okay. Not too bad. We've already made things with Echo Pogs, so I think I can do that. So an Echo Pog, done. The rest of it, is that already in there? It is. There we go. Done and dusted. That wasn't bad at all. Now, I think I could have done this a long time ago, maybe, but it certainly would have been a lot harder to do then. Now, let me see if I can remember how this works. I think we shift right-click on the controller, and then we shift... Oh, I got to get rid of the button. And then we can place it on top of the altar. And that is, I think, all we need to do. So let's pop the button down, get this one completed, get a new rock, and is that... Oh, hey, it's moving. It's moving slow, but it's moving. And why is my refined storage system dark? Hmm. It's acting like it's out of power. Okay, so we clearly need these speed enhancements, quantity enhancements, maybe even this teleport enhancement. Are these? They're not bad. All right, hey, this is pretty neat. I think we can do a lot better though. All right, let's start off with a speed enhancement. Why can not get these things? Yeah, my crafting system is out of power or otherwise used. I can't really interact with it. Huh. I'm back here looking at my system here, and yeah, it's just out of power. Okay. Apparently, that takes a lot of power. Yeah, this altar conduit takes 250 FE per tick, and, well, my poor little basic thermal generator here is only doing 60. Now, thanks to all my mod boxes, I've got lots of thermo generators, and I've got a lot of better ones. And so I'm sure I can find a different one, but I've got to be able to access the system first. Wow, that was kind of unexpected, but we'll get to it. We'll just let this go for a little bit, and we'll get to it. Hmm. Well, it's done all it can do. I am short on gold, and it's not turning on. I think I've got to take this thing off. Well, we certainly got to fix the power problem before I can do anything else with this thing. All right, with access to all of my stuff, once again, you can see, yeah, I've got plenty. I've got several of these hardened, blazing. These are even better. And yeah, basics. I don't need those, but I guess we could run like 2 of these blazings. That should be pretty easy. All right, well, we first of all have to replace this guy. Oh, no. Well, phooey. And yeah, looks like there's other stuff that needs to be fixed. Darn it. Okay, well, we'll do another little cavity right here so we could do 2 things of lava and have both of these going here at the same time, right next to one another. Another faucet going into that, and we'll have to expand our water reservoir here. Should be easy enough. There we go. I think that there's enough water surrounding all of these that they will recharge if they ever happen to drain the square at the same time, but I just don't think that it can. Oh, I got to turn that on. Yeah, because it only pumps out like a quarter of a bucket at a time, so it never really depletes this water source behind it. And then lastly, join those up with a cable, and we're good. All there is left to do is patch the water that's leaking out. Where's that coming from? And replace the lava that's under there. But I guess there we go. And we should be able to access this guy from behind. Very good. I wonder what this is doing with all the lava that's flowing down. But that's a problem for tomorrow, it seems. We should be generating 400 FE per. That should be more than enough to satisfy the needs for this with the altar automation piece attached to it. Yay for the mod boxes, because I really wasn't looking forward to crafting those things from Pala. I've said before, right? I kind of hate crafting things from Pala. So now with enough power, let's pop that guy on there, and it's going, and it seems to be maintaining and going just fine. Power usage, 263, but it's not going down at all. Looking good. Now it's time to make this thing faster. I don't really love having the button off to the side, though. Can't do anything about it, I suppose. Well, considering the conduit has 4 total slots for upgrades, I think 2 speed and 2 quantity is probably fine. So these things don't seem to be that bad. We can get 2 of those. Quantity, pogs. Okay, again, not terrible. We'll do that, no problem. Oh, and a bunch of speeds. Oh, okay. So we need a total of 10 speeds in order to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus the 2 is a total of 10. But that's enough to get the 2 quantities that I'm after. 1, 2, 1, 2. That should be just fine. Let's see how this goes now. That was nice and fast, wasn't it? Yeah. and so much easier. But there's still a lot of work to do, honestly, because I have a lot of stuff in my drawer system here that's also over here. And this is where I have the majority of these type of items, right? I mean, it makes sense that I'm going to put all of the stuff with the botany pots. So this needs to be connected up to the rest of my system. And given that there's a lot of duplication among all of this stuff up here, I think it's going to take a lot of work. But that really shouldn't be that hard. We just need another drawer controller and maybe some trim pieces to put those two lines of drawers all connected up into one drawer system, and then run some cable underneath the platform here, and then hook that cable up to the refined storage system just like we've got. Because back here I've already got the external storage and some cables hooking the drawer system and the refined storage system together. But that makes me wonder about the other production mod here, Cagerium 39. Well, I can definitely do that. And while I have been harping almost incessantly about how ice spawners is better than Cagerium, Cagerium is superior in one area, and that is that it just works. You know, it just always runs in the background, much like the botany pots over here. And I did hear a comment from a viewer stating as much. They just keep on making Cagerium cages for each of the mobs that they want to get drops from. I've got a little bit of room right here, so I think I might add another row of drawers, take the Cagerium mod, and start adding some Cagerium cages for all those mob drops. Because while this is certainly faster and I can swap it out, it is work, and it is something that I've got to do the work of. I've got to swap it out. I don't have a good collection system for it. And, well, you know, I'm getting lazy. That's all there is to it. So is there a place for ice spawners and Cagerium? Yeah, I think so. As long as I can meet whatever I need with the ice spawners, I think there's also value in having Cagerium just kind of running in the background with some cages as well. But if I remember right, there was one more quality of life mod that I wanted. I guess it was Vault Map. I don't really feel the need to be able to have a full-sized map in my hand. I've done just fine with the overhead map that it provides, so I guess I don't really need that. Now, if I ever want to go with Automatic Genius, I have to do basically everything else. And honestly, some of these are going to be kind of useful. I think thermal expansion might actually be useful as well, because there are certain things that you can only do with thermal expansion. You know, the aquatic entangler, the phytogenic insulator. They can make things easier and automated as well. But that's a big overview of all of the work that I have to do. So I think I'll be working on that in between clips here in this episode, and probably try to show it off as complete at the very end. I guess for now, let's go into Cagerium. It would indeed be really interesting to see how well this works late in the game when I feel like I've got enough resources. So here we go. Cagerium done. I know I've been in some playthroughs on servers where we've done it a little bit earlier, and getting enough cages was always an issue. But maybe things are different here in the late game. So let's see, what do we need? Ominous Skull, Wither Skeleton Skull. Okay, so I couldn't have done this until very recently anyway. 2 black chromatic steel, and then the rest of it is a bunch of chromatic steel. So a lot of chromatic iron, and then these wither skeleton skulls. Well, I guess I've got some resource gathering to do. I only have just a few wither skeleton skulls, and I'm going to need to AFK there a little bit in order to collect some. And I think my chromatic iron stashes are okay. How about my black opal? Black opal is not as good as I would like, honestly. But oh well. I think we could still make something happen with Cagerium, though, this episode as well. And for what it's worth, I really don't like this thing. I really don't like how this steps up. The vault altar in the floor used to work really well, but now that I've got this thing on here, it's just annoying. So that's definitely going to have to get moved as well. Well, here we are several days later, and I've gotten quite a bit of work done. Unfortunately, I'm just now getting able to record once again because, of course, after the gaming convention and not long after recording those clips, I got sick. Isn't that how it always goes? But I was able to do some work while I was sick. I mean, part of what you can see here behind me is I've removed several drawers out of the drawer system. These were the ones that had all the botany pots growing the same ingredients over here. But I've done so much more. Look at all this growth. Not only is this the only place that you're going to find vines, for instance, in my system, it's connected to the rest of the system over there through a cable, but I've also gone ahead and made up a whole bunch of Cagerium cages and terrariums. And they've been chugging away. Now, I did go ahead and consolidate all of these resources over here too. So it looks like it's been doing a little bit more work than it has, but it's working out well enough. One thing that I'd forgotten is that, one, there are terrariums, which are cheaper to craft and are only good for the passive mobs, but two, you can have multiple passive mobs within the terrariums and the cageriums as well, and that makes them even faster. I'd kind of forgotten that. You can have up to 4 eggs inside of a cage. And so I've set out some of the most common mobs that I think I'm going to run into. I've also brought over all of my easy villagers, farmers, because they're all making things that grow too, and I felt like they should be concentrated here as well, and not duplicate those resources. So yeah, lots of good progress. Oh, also, I moved this thing because I just got really frustrated with running up to my system and stepping up and doing this little jump. It was just annoying. So now my system is doing pretty well. My supply of spawn eggs is greatly diminished, but there's definitely some that I could still add to more cages. Evokers, pillagers, ghast. That's one that I didn't have until recently. Glad for that. And some other things, but I'm a little out of chromatic steel. I think this has used all of my chromatic steel. Well, I have more than enough carbon. I could make some more, but just everything that I had on hand. And you know what? It's a good start right now. I feel really good about this level of automation. Like I said, is there a place for both Cagerium and ice spawners? Absolutely. If I need something in a hurry, or while I was working my way toward Cagerium, ice spawners is the way to go. But having all of the Cagerium mobs here grinding out resources passively, I think is also very valuable. One thing that is annoying about the Cagerium, though, is that there's nothing in the JEI to tell you what the drops are going to be from certain mobs. For instance, I've got Drown in a cage over here, and I did that because I wanted the copper that I expect Drowns should be dropping. But there's no copper dropping out, it's only rotten flesh. If we look at the mob cage, I can't press U to do something with it and have it show me what kinds of drops I can expect, which I totally would have expected. Doing the same on one of the spawn eggs doesn't, again, tell me what the drops might be from this spawn egg. It only shows me how to make mystery eggs, and it shows me what I can get from mystery eggs, but not what I can get from a Strider mystery egg, for instance. iSpawners, similarly, doesn't have anything like that, but I think that's kind of to be expected because it actually spawns the mob. When it comes to Cagerium, it doesn't spawn the mob, and so we don't really know. Like these Drown, they should be able to drop fishing poles, tridents, as well as copper. And I just don't really think that we're going to get any of it. I don't know. I'll fill you in the next episode maybe if I do get some things, because I've got the drawer capacity to handle it. But for right now, it doesn't seem like it. And that is kind of an annoying shortcoming. I don't really know what to expect from these guys. But once again, I've been continuing to run vaults as I've been able to, and I've got 3 bingos here. What do you think the chances are of getting an artifact from one of these things? I don't know. Let's find out. So ready? Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there's 1! We got an artifact. Maybe 2? Let's pick everything up and check the old backpacks. Yeah, 2 artifacts. Very nice. No trinkets, unfortunately, but I'll take 2 artifacts. Oh, at least one of them is new. Got the Vault Hunters logo. That goes right there in the middle. And this one, always hard to tell. I think right there. Yes. Nice. I think my strategy of preferring bingos is starting to pay off. I actually feel like I'm closing in on the final stretches here of the artifact puzzle. Well, maybe not final stretches. It's about half done. Just under, really. But it does feel nice seeing it start to come together. One other interesting thing that happened is I got another companion. This one is the Dylan shape. It's one that they've made for the fans, the stream audience, which Iskall calls Dylans. And this one comes with the Loot Goblin. And according to the wiki, this doubles all the loot drops and triples the rarity. Wow, wow, wow! 200% item quantity and 300% item rarity. That sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to have to level that guy up. And if I ever find a library with that guy, yeah, all those gilded chests, that's going to yield some serious trinketage, I hope. But that is going to have to be a task for in between episodes because I am out of time. Literally out of time to record for this week if I have any hope of getting a video out tomorrow, really, is what it is. Hey, Mr. Trader, you're not supposed to be up there. It's not safe. Oh well, I'll help him down in a little bit. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the Vault Altar automation. Getting that set up is something of a milestone, and it certainly is going to make things easier. I wish I had time to get into more. I said I was going to get into some special crystals and putting on some catalysts, and well, the universe just had different plans. So we're going to say so long for this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, though, remember, be excellent to each other. I'm out.